Oh, Virgin Gang, it is unfortunate today. I sit before you and do not bring you good news. I do not bring good tidings. Unfortunately, an IP in the TCG space has left us. They are no longer going to be here. They are just gone, kaput, vanished, vamoose, just no longer going to be around anymore. And unfortunately, I'm here to tell you that it is Metazoo Games. They have made a statement saying that they can't hack it anymore. It's just not possible in here. And to the fans of Metazoo Games, we salute you the most. But we have to sit here today. We have to take a second and mourn what Metazoo Games became, what Metazoo Games just unfortunately couldn't do anymore. And we give you a salute. Old Metazoo. It's a shame. So if you've been tracking anything with Metazoo in the last year, I'm not surprised by this information at all. There was a statement made by Michael Waddell. We'll get to that here in a second. But it's been going a little bit downhill like the last year. A big thing for me was I saw that Metazoo Games did a relatively big collaboration. They did something pretty big with Sanrio where they had My Melody, they had Kuromi based on on some of their Metazoo cards, right? And they had a product, like a pretty premium product that was going for that stuff. It was like some crazy collector set. And I think it was for like $300. But then I saw eBay listing that for like about $150. So they cut the price basically in half. And that was my first indication that Metazoo Games was not really holding up to what it needed to be. Bro, Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh!, any other fucking TCG put that stuff up, there's no way. It would sell out immediately at that top price. We've seen it happen time and time again. I'm not saying that's good. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it is what it is. And Metazoo Games, I mean, eBay wasn't even going to keep that stuff around. A lot of the product hasn't been holding like any kind of weight around there. There's been people moving Metazoo collections left and right. I've seen it. I've watched artists just leave. We'll get to that here in a second. But, yep, they officially made a statement. We'll look at this statement together. This is from Metazoo Games Closure right here. This is actually going to be from Michael Waddell, allegedly signed at the bottom. This is something that was just floating around. Let's read this entire thing together, shall we? It is with a heavy heart that I must announce that effective immediately, Metazoo Games will be closing and shutting down all operations. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank everyone in the community for the incredible 4-year run that we had. Metazoo Games was started during the pandemic and provided a home and created a culture that revitalized the TCG industry, launching a new wave of card games that now number in the hundreds. I'm proud to have been part of that, and you should be too. Unfortunately, that era has passed, and faced with logistical and product gridlocks, Metazoo Games can no longer continue to exist in the current economic and collectibles markets. There's some big old buzzwords in there. It is my hope that Metazoo can continue on as an IP at some point in the future under new ownership, and I look forward to that day. Special thanks to all Metazoo artists and staff, both past and present, that made these past 4 years possible. The memories we created will be something we cherish for the rest of our lives. More information will follow and be communicated via our Discord channel when it becomes available. Thank you for everything once again, Michael Waddell. So this is something that's been floating around a good little bit. I've seen basically every Metazoo collection page actually posting this up. I'm assuming this was something that was like issued out or mailed to them. I have not seen it on their actual Instagram themselves, but you know, it's signed by him down there. This is not something I'm surprised about. Another big thing that I saw, and why I'm not really too shocked about this, I mean, there's been drama going around Metazoo for a good old long time. Their whole crypto thing, their fucking overpriced product on release day, a bunch of like promos going out and being fucking weird. And then like, that's not even like talking about like Michael himself, Mike Waddell. That dude, I watched that dude be an absolute dickhead to his Discord in some cases. I mean, the old Loveland Frogman statue, that video I made, it's a year and a half ago at least now. That was a crazy scenario that I saw, basically how they were treating their fans, and I saw people actively kind of defending it in that community. And then at that point, a lot of people left because there were some people like, wow, this guy's a super douche. And I do think that guy was a super douche in that instance. But the big thing I saw that convinced me that it was going to be time for them to actually be packing it up here soon was this guy right here. I had the post where he said it at one point. I can't currently find it. But Chris right here, this is a former Metazoo artist. This guy, he's a good dude. I've talked to him a couple times. He made a post saying that he was going to be leaving Metazoo Games, and he said it was going to be just permanently. It was for reasons. He had his stuff going on. And then I saw artists actually leave after him. And then I saw Metazoo actually having art contests where they were going to try to commission artists based off that. That Chris guy had been around for a good little bit. He was going to Collecticons on behalf of Metazoo. He was doing a lot of appearances. He commissioned several cards. I know he did cards for other TCGs as well, such as Akora, but that guy had been around with Metazoo for a good little bit. He made a lot of iconic cards that a lot of the fans liked. Speaking of the fans, that's genuinely who I feel bad about this for. I feel like people who genuinely like Metazoo, I've seen a lot of people hawking their collections and selling some stuff off. There's been some Metazoo fans that they've been getting some absolute deals online lately. I've seen it, and that's good for them. But this ultimately is it affects them. This is their fan base right here. This is what they like, and I do feel bad for you. At the same time, I mean, the writing was on the wall for at least like a year, in my personal opinion. What I think is going to happen now with Metazoo is what I think is always going to be happening. They're trying to look for someone to buy the IP. I think Wizards of the Coast is always someone they've been like pushing towards. Maybe there's someone else that'll be showing a little bit of interest in Metazoo. I'm not really too sure how it's going to work out. They can't even sell their premium product for a good price. And in my personal opinion, Metazoo just kind of has a weird image to it. There's some people that like it, and there's some people that really don't, with that whole pandemic formed TCG thing, because a lot of good things did come out of that era, but some horrible things in the TCG community also spawned from that era as well. And Metazoo is tainted with both of those things, in my personal opinion, of course. To anybody involved in Metazoo that's doing this stuff, hey, best of luck to you. Hope things go well for you. Hey, maybe someone will buy the IP. Maybe they will. I don't know. But that's the move I think they're going to be making here soon. They're looking for a buyer. And my first thought is Wizards of the Coast to actually make this purchase. That's all I got. Just wanted to show this stuff. Hey, RIP Metazoo. That's, I hope no one's emoting too hard on your grave right now. And like I said, hey, just because something's gone now doesn't mean it's gone forever. I mean, Futurama, Family Guy, those are big indications of that. But hey, those are TV shows, not a TCG.